A sniper's bullet cut down Dr. King as he stood on a hotel balcony in Memphis.
Grigori Rasputin.
Go ahead, Rasputin. Take it. I dare you.
Considering the mythical status of Rasputin, it's hard to imagine that he died in the 20th century. Accounts of Rasputin's death have become, shall we say, highly sensationalized throughout the years. But basically, Rasputin was becoming a problem for Russian nobles, so he was assassinated on December 30th, 1916, supposedly by being poisoned, shot, beaten, and thrown into the river.
What are you laughing at?
You're full of poison, you fool. Don't you believe me? Look at your eyes. They're like red jelly. Didn't you eat too many cakes, Holy Father? They were loaded with poison, and now you stuffed them down, you swine.
However, the truth of what happened has long been shrouded in mystery and conflicting reports, and the sheer theatricality of what allegedly occurred reads like a gothic horror story of a supernatural man who just wouldn't die. This myth-making has permeated pop culture, and his death serves as a chilling symbol of the chaos and eventual decline of Imperial Russia.
Esther? You're alive?
Yeah, the manner of speaking.
Whoa, that fell right out there, sir.
Charles Lindbergh, Jr.
What is it?
Charles Lindbergh's baby's been kidnapped.
You've got to find him, Edgar. He has to be brought home alive.
The Lindbergh kidnapping was called the biggest story since the resurrection, which isn't too much of a stretch. One of the most infamous crimes of the century, 20-month-old Charles Lindbergh Jr. was kidnapped from his crib on the night of March 1st, 1932. The resulting story was enormous. The parents were famous, the kidnapping itself was sensational, and the frenzied reaction from the media and police was unprecedented, being a major focus of the FBI.
How did he get up there? Are there marks on the window and wall as well?
There was a ladder. We found it 100 yards away, 3 pieces. We moved it inside.
You moved it?
Yes, for safekeeping.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Schwarzkopf. You have completely contaminated the crime scene. Now, if you will, get your boots off this property. Thank you.
Unfortunately, Lindbergh did not make it. His body was eventually found, and evidence showed that he had likely been killed shortly after the abduction. German carpenter Bruno Hauptmann was found guilty of his murder, although many people believe that he was merely a scapegoat.
According to the law of this state, I rule that Mr. Bruno Hauptmann suffered death at the time and place and in the manner provided by law.
Marilyn Monroe.
Your ticket, ma'am, for your return to LA this evening.
This evening? But...
The president's plans have changed, ma'am. So your plans have changed?
The death of Marilyn Monroe is one of the most infamous in American pop culture, not just because of her status, but because of the mystery that surrounds it. Monroe was found dead on August 5th, 1962, with the official cause of death being acute barbiturate poisoning, likely the result of Monroe taking her own life.
Need this.
My God. Have it. You all right?
But this didn't stop the conspiracy theories, like the idea that the Kennedys had her murdered to cover up a political scandal. There were also a number of inconsistencies in the investigation, like conflicting witness statements that created suspicion. Either way, the questions surrounding her death and the fascinating intersection of celebrity, exploitation, and mental health struggles have kept public fascination alive for more than 60 years. Malcolm X.
Apparently, 2 men approached the speaker's rostrum and discharged shots at him from apparently very close range.
Born Malcolm Little, this revolutionary had a troubled childhood and eventually served time in prison, where he joined the Nation of Islam and adopted the moniker Malcolm X. However, he later grew disillusioned with the nation and had a very public and very bitter falling out with the group, leading to his assassination on February 21st, 1965.
Brother, please hold. Calm down, please. Go.
His death marked the loss of a major voice for Black empowerment. but it also served as a tragic case of intra-Black political violence during a tumultuous time when unity was absolutely vital. Many have also long suspected that the FBI and NYPD played some role by either allowing or even orchestrating the murder, lending a strong degree of enduring conspiracy to the story.
He was a powerful, galvanizing figure for many, and he posed a threat to the status quo in such a way that, people felt he had to be eliminated.
John Lennon.
Good evening. The death of a man who sang and played the guitar overshadows the news from Poland, Iran, and Washington tonight. Former Beatle John Lennon, who was 40, was shot and killed last night outside his luxury apartment in New York.
The death of this ex-Beatle was always going to be a big deal, but the manner in which it happened was something no one could have predicted. On the night of December 8, 1980, John Lennon was shot and killed by Mark David Chapman, a previous fan of the Beatles.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tom Brokaw. This is today, December 9th. I'm here with Jane Pauley, and this entire half hour will be devoted to the murder of John Lennon.
The public response was profound, with candlelight vigils erupting around the world and sales of Lennon's music soaring. The media also devoted extensive coverage to Lennon's death, his life, and his legacy. It is now remembered as one of the defining tragedies of the century, the end of an era. It wasn't just the loss of a cultural icon, but the loss of a major voice for peace, creativity, and countercultural values.
At the hospital where Lennon was taken, young people prayed.
He's not dead. John Lennon can't be dead.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
Just 3 years after the death of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. was shot and killed while visiting Memphis, sparking chaos in over 100 American cities as frustrations and grief boiled over. But in many places, the response was more peaceful, with vigils and marches being held to honor King's legacy.
Yeah, I suppose the first concern, Bobby, that everybody has, and it's obviously the one that Governor Buford Ellington has, and the people of Memphis have, and the people of Harlem have, and other major Negro areas in the cities around the country, is the outbreak of violence.
His assassination would have been a huge deal on its own, but the story has also endured with the help of some tantalizing mystery. King was a famous target of the FBI, and many still believe that they were somehow involved in his assassination. This is exacerbated by the cultural doubt regarding James Earl Ray, whom many believe was the scapegoat for a much larger political conspiracy, including members of the King family.
But the assassination of Dr. King, like the assassination of President Kennedy, is something that people will always wonder. Do we know everything? Is it just a simple cut and dried case, or was there some kind of larger conspiracy behind it?
The Manson family victims.
In a scene described by one investigator as reminiscent of a weird religious rite, 5 persons, including actress Sharon Tate, were found dead at the home of Miss Tate and her husband, screen director Roman Polanski.
While actress Sharon Tate is often regarded as the public face of the infamous Manson family killings, it's important to note that 7 people lost their lives in the senseless violence of August 1969. The brutal savagery of the murders sparked immediate, if morbid, fascination, with Tate's story in particular containing a horrific twist that disgusted the public.
Oh my God, Sharon.
But that certainly isn't the only reason that the crime has endured. The Manson family comes across as terrifying and almost otherworldly. The crimes have a strong connection to classic Hollywood, and they took place at the very end of the 1960s, effectively killing the hippie movement by showcasing the dark underbelly of the counterculture.
Sent out from the fires of hell at Spahn Ranch. 3 heartless, bloodthirsty robots.
Princess Diana.
We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident, and that her partner, Dodi Fayed, has also been killed. They were apparently being pursued by paparazzi on 2 motorcycles.
The 36-year-old People's Princess was just entering a new, post-royal period of her life when she was killed in a car crash on August 31st, 1997. The sudden and shocking circumstances of her death resulted in what could be the biggest outpouring of grief in the 20th century. The reaction was unprecedented, with millions attending her London funeral and an estimated 2.5 billion people watching on live TV, over 40% of the entire world's population at the time.
And they're gathering now at the entrance
This is an extraordinary view we're seeing here. We've never, as far as I'm aware, seen the royal family standing like this at the gates of Buckingham Palace.
Her death has long remained in the public consciousness, not only for the extraordinary reaction that it caused, but for feeding public distrust in the royal family, giving rise to countless conspiracy theories, and launching new conversations regarding media intrusion and personal privacy.
At the funeral, the Queen was very dignified and she bowed her head when Diana's coffin went past. And it was spectacularly done.
John F. Kennedy.
The car breaks. The sixth and fatal shot, frame 313, takes Kennedy in the head from the front.
Presidential assassinations are notorious by their very natures, but there's many special aspects about the JFK assassination that have made it a cultural touchstone unlike any other. For one thing, JFK was a widely loved president, which added a further degree of tragedy to the proceedings. But of course, what has made his death so notorious is the mystery behind it.
How significant is this new account if it is in fact true?
Well, it is the biggest news since 1964 when the Warren Commission issued its report.
The JFK assassination has possibly spawned more conspiracy theories than any other event in the 20th century, with 65% of Americans believing that Lee Harvey Oswald was not solely responsible, according to Gallup. The lore behind this event is also incredible and seemingly unending, including secret CIA schemes, the mafia, Zapruder Films, Grassy Knolls, Babushka Ladies, Umbrella Man, and Magic Bullets.
Based on those findings, Stoll says you have to look at a new hypothesis that there was a second bullet. The question, from where?
Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria.
Sure, most would say World War I started with a gunshot.
It's extremely hard to believe that World War I occurred as recently as the 20th century, but it did, and it was all sparked by the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir presumptive to the throne of Austria-Hungary. Ferdinand was assassinated on June 28, 1914, for political reasons tied to nationalist tensions in the Balkans.
Princip can't believe his luck. He has an opportunity to finish out what he started earlier that day.
He and his wife were riding through Sarajevo when they were both shot at close range by a revolutionary named Gavrilo Princip. His shocking assassination sparked an enormous response around the world, not to mention a chain reaction that eventually culminated in the outbreak of World War I. It's no exaggeration to say that the death of Archduke Franz Ferdinand altered the very course of human history.
In turn, Great Britain declares war on Germany. Austria-Hungary then declares war on Russia, Serbia declares war on Germany, and France and Great Britain declare war on Austria-Hungary.
What is your opinion on these deaths? Let us know in the comments.
Totally inconsistent with the shot from the depository.